Hi everybody, welcome to this uh, viewing of Sassy Sonya Sews. So I have a project that I've been working on for probably 2.5, 3 months now. As you can see from the picture, it looks like it's a lot of work, and it is. We have lots of different quilt blocks that all go together and makes this massive butterfly. We did talk about this particular pattern in an earlier episode when we went over different types of quilt kits, and this was the pattern for the Tula pink butterfly 2 quilt, and so I decided that I was going to make it. And remember when we talked in the other episode, there were no real particular color or fabric identification for each one of the quilt blocks. You kind of get these pictures here, and then you need to make this many. You make 8 of this particular block, but it doesn't tell you anywhere what colors that are used. So I had to keep referring back to this particular page to see, okay, so I see this fabric here. Do I have that? Let me find it in my quilt kit. So that was a process all in its own. So let me show you the finished product. All right, and as you can see here, it is a massive butterfly that all came together, and you see the different changes in the colors. Kind of the rainbow effect is what we're going for. No, the body is not particularly all rainbow colors, but it does graduate between darker at the top, then lighter, and then back into darker at the bottom. And so we have perfect mirror image of one wing versus the other wing. So that was another challenge when constructing the quilt overall, but the pattern itself does a very good job of encouraging you to go slow. They also suggested make one side and then put the other side on top of the completed block so that you could kind of use it as a guide and do it in the reverse. So we have, the blues at the bottom, teal into the greenish citron, kind of yellowy, into the coral, kind of pinky, and then red, definitely pink, and then purple over here on the side. So really, there's no place that I have where I can just hang it up and it is heavy. The overall measurements ended up being, it was 93 inches long by 88 inches wide. So for me, I have a queen size quilt, and this definitely overlaps the entire bed. So this would be considered a king size. I believe a king size truly is a 108 by 108, but don't quote me on that. And so then we have down at the bottom, we have a wide border, and as well at the top we have the same border. There is no border on the sides, and that is just so that I think it helps in the overall framing of the butterfly. I don't know if I can get the entire thing is just so massive, and a cell phone camera is not like a big studio camera where you get the entire snapshot. Plus, I can't hang it up. It, as I said, very, very, very heavy. So I did a couple of different quilting techniques on this. Both of the wings, as you can see, have um, just straight lines up and down, and that is what I wanted. You see a little bit here. I've been ironing this for many days now, but you see right here, there appears to be black lines, and you are correct. So this is how I marked the wings. I used a um, a heat erasing marker. So it's a little bit of a groove. So I have to actually get the point of my iron into these. And so sometimes when I do iron over them, it's not quite enough. And so I have to go over it a couple of times. And I see those types of things, when I'm doing the overall view. The body itself is just stitching in the ditch. I know you can't really see it, but it's stitching in the ditch for each individual color. And then you can see down here in the what we call negative spaces is one type of flower. And then, not sure if you can see it, in the border itself, both the top and the bottom borders are the same, and then it is another quilting. So as you can see here, it's another flower that's got the black mark. So I used a plastic template that I purchased from Joann's, which is no longer open. And so I have more little heat that I have to sap on that and get that off. These flowers here, I used, it's from a place called Stipples Made Easy. And so it's paper, you roll it out. There's an adhesive strip on the top and bottom to help it stick to your fabric, and then you just sew right over the paper. So there was some picking of paper over in this negative space here. We have the same type of quilting that we used in the border. So as you can see, it just was a massive project. And this particular project I got, and I will admit it was quite a few years ago, a quilt batting that was supposed to be super easy for you. All you had to do was make your quilt sandwich and then iron both the top and the bottom. And the quilt batting was supposed to be your basting. And so like I said, I did get it quite a few years ago. So I don't know if there's a statute of limitation on the stickiness and the ironing ability for this particular batting. So I did start on half of the butterfly and thought things were going good. In the negative space, I did pin it just to keep things, in their correct space. But I got halfway through the first wing and I realized that the entire other half of the wing, none of the basting had worked. So there were a few snafus with this quilt, I will say. And of course, it didn't make me happy. But I put my brain into overdrive and I came up with solutions to correct the errors of the shifting fabric. So I am not a fan of batting that says that all you have to do is iron it and it's basted for you. I much prefer one of my other methods. When I make a quilt for myself, I use the Elmer's glue basting method. When I sew things for other people, I like to either use the iron fuse, where it's a powder that you shake on, but that leaves granules everywhere, and I'm cleaning that stuff up for days. And then another thing that I like to use is the spray adhesive. So it gets to be a little bit expensive for a quilt this size. I probably would have used maybe 2 cans for the back and for the front. Something here, I don't know if you can really see it, but there wasn't really any antennas for our little fellow. So I just freehand drew some little antennas for him. So that fills up that negative space there as well. And so that's, my trials with the fabric shifting. So for the binding, it is the same fabric that we have for the border, both the top and the bottom border. In the pattern, it does show to use that. And so for the backing, this is the Tula Pink 108 backing that is used. Kind of looks like weird little eyeballs staring at you, kind of like retro look. But so this is for a person who likes green, not necessarily this kind of minty green or anything like that, but it is in the green family, so that's what it is. And so that we have our star of the show, our butterfly, and then as you saw in the quilting, the flowers, butterflies need that little those flowers to help them pollinate. And so that is it for our rainbow effect butterfly. And we hope that you enjoyed viewing this massive fellow. And we thank you for stopping by and watching this video. As always, if you're not a subscriber and you like what you see when we show you our videos, go ahead and subscribe. That way you'll know when we put out our next video. And always, we thank you for watching and for being a subscriber. Happy sewing.